At the House of Blues for 3 big nights, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I had to tell you and your listeners and all the great people from WROR to be there or be square. I think Friday and Saturday are sold, but I understand the Duke might make a special appearance on Sunday night. But you know what I'm saying, the Duke we never know whether he's going to make the show. He is the guru of the drivers. It's all in the stars, but I want to tell you it's our 30th anniversary, Ty, and the Duke has brought us over from all parts of the country to be at House of Blues, and Sunday night is the night to be there. I understand that the house is going to have the Patriots on all their monitors, and we are going to have a jammin' rock and roll party. We're going to be checking our bucket. We're going to play What You Got. We've got some new ideas, some new songs, and there will be special guests. So I want all your listeners, I hope, can get out on a Sunday night. We'll have a party, and we won't forget the Patriots. I think it's pretty cool, Ty. All night long. But I'll tell you, Ty, it's an 8 o'clock show. It's an early show, so we can all get our youth sleep. Oh, man, we need all the sleep we can get, but I want to tell you something. The rehearsals have been gangbusters. We're extremely excited, and this is the beginning of a new era for Duke and the Drivers. Harvard Square, right in the heart of Harvard Square, across the street from Grendel's Den on Winthrop Street. Tickets are available through House of Blues, HOB.com, or at the House of Blues box office. Well, it's my business to know the band. The Duke has made it my business, Ty. So I'm hoping we can see you there. Come on out on the weekend. Come on out on Sunday night. You've got to. You've got to get from behind the mic and out with the people. No Sopranos. There you go. So we're going to do Patriots, but we're going to do Duke and the Drivers like you've never heard them before. The whole aggravation will be there, plus special guests. Lots of promo gear for Christmas presents, and we're just going to knock the place down. Sunday. You're the best, Ty. Keep rocking and rolling. We love you. ROR. Yeah. Bye-bye. I gotta go cook. Hello.
What'd you hear about the Jamaica trip?
Jamaica trip is happening. I don't have dates yet, but we're gonna have it, and I wanna make sure to have another sign-up sheet. It's gonna happen. I just don't wanna send anything out that isn't real.
Yeah.
I mean, I gotta ice it. I've gotta talk to Air Jamaica. Apparently they're gonna send me down early, and they're gonna be filming me on a plane serving food to the passengers.
Oh, yeah. Well, we want to be on that plane.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. Let me put my smock on.
You have to roll and grab.
Any aprons? Do you have any real rolling pins? This looks great.
You like it?
Yeah, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it a little bit. You like to stretch the dough. Oh, there they are. Did you get on? Well, here you are. What do you mean, did you get on? How are you? Great, thanks.
Making Sally and Peppy's.
Oh, man. Here's one who knows what's going on. Are you a Peppy's girl or a Sally's girl?
What are we? Peppy's?
Well,
Frankie Peppy, you can't beat Frankie Peppy.
It's his good stuff.
that's my brother Josh. He's from Los Angeles doing a little filming.
Hi, Jeff.
That's the way you start. So I'm just putting a little of that on here in case you wanted to know. I know. You got to know. You gots to. You gots to. Good evening. Hi. Merry Christmas. Oh, I got to put my hat on. Hope it doesn't get caught in the grinder or something. Rip my head off. Perfect. Oh, this is going to be a real pain in the ass. Yeah, all right.
Just put it on your collar.
Thank you for sharing that. That's just what I wanted to hear. It was going really good for a while. Now I'm distracted. I need a good rolling pin. This thing is a little bit short.
So she said,
Westport Cooks.
Good evening. Welcome to Westport Cooks. It's fun. It's family. It's funny. It's happy.
It tastes good too.
Do you want to give it a shot?
Okay, go ahead.
Do I need to present to you?
Yeah. What is that, Greggy?
Brown rice, and we're going to mix it with a pilaf, which I cook separately, so that you can get that done. The pilaf, wild rice takes about 3 times longer to cook than regular rice, and it's where it's just broken open. In fact, this hasn't quite. It's just where the kernel breaks open. That's to me when you get the flavor out. Who's first time tonight? First time. Steve from Newport Vineyards. Big presentation tonight. I just want to show a couple things. I'm going to turn it over to you and get the pizzas. We're going to make pizzas, okay? So Steve's going to come and do a wonderful, he's got a great operation. Have any of you been over to the Newport Vineyards? Fabulous. Go check it out. It's gorgeous over there right on the West Main? East Main. Sorry, I get them confused. They look exactly the same. Sometimes I don't know which road I'm actually on. So we'll get to Steve. I guess I'm going to go ahead and start. It is 6, right? Have we hit the magic hour? Tonight, I'm going to do the kinds of things that I like to do for holidays. And I love to make pizza because it's great, because it's family. Everyone likes to make it. It's something different than turkey or roast beef or ham that everyone seems to eat over the holidays. People can get into make it. And now, in most supermarkets, they sell these pizza balls. They come right like this. You can buy them. We're going to try them. They're not bad at all. And if you want to make your own pizza, there are a million different recipes in all your cookbooks. And try and use one that does not use milk. There are pizza dough recipes that call for milk. I don't happen to like that because it acts as a leavening and makes it thicker. I like a thin crust pizza, a New Haven pizza. And there are a lot of people in New Haven claim the pizza started there. Immigrants came and started making pizza in New Haven. And if you don't believe it, then they don't want you in their restaurant. So I think that that's true. Hi, everybody. Welcome. So we're gonna make some pizzas for a beginner. I'm gonna just show you what I've done up to now because I had to get started. We've got a lot to do tonight. We're doing some mushrooms here for the marsala. It's Jeannie, right? Jeannie.
Yes, yep.
Jeannie's. You can find it. They sell it for kind of expensive, but I mean, we buy big sheets of it, but every kitchen should have it. It's great to pound. Wax paper works very well. So I've laid these chicken tenderloins. You can buy them now in the store as tenderloins, just like this. I've laid them across, right? I'm going to put them between these, and then I want to flatten them because I want to make cutlets. I'm going to use this pan because I need to make it for this size. But if you're using smaller, you can use smaller. But you just want to whack them, and since I've got to make it for all of you guys, there you go. They're done. So that's the technique. You'd use, of course, a smaller pan, and you don't want to hit anyone but the chicken when you do that. And you want to use a good solid counter. And there you go. You've got them. They're beautiful. You can see that, right, guys? Isn't that nice? So you've got a nice chicken medallion. Now, if you're using, I've also done the recipe for pork tenderloin. Beautiful product. Is there anyone here who's never worked with pork tenderloin? Great product, fabulous. And you just take the pork and you just do the same thing, but they're more tender than the chicken. So you just pound it lightly. But there are a considerable amount of restaurants in this world, having been in the restaurant business for 20 years, that use pork and call it veal. They use pork tenderloin and use it and call it veal, and that's why veal is around $16 a pound for tenderloin. And if it's really, really tender that it's not veal round. It's probably pork, but there's nothing wrong with using pork. Since I have so many to make tonight, I'm using chicken, and I love chicken this way. Rated and related around food. That was our whole deal. And then, and loved to cook, and then got into playing music. And there's a lot of similarity between going out and playing rock and roll and cooking, because especially if you cook on the road, I'm now a caterer, You've got to be on stage at 6 o'clock, and you've got to be ready to do your show, and then you do your show, you pack up and go home, and it's a creative process just like making music, and it seemed to follow very naturally for me. After the band thing, I was out on the road with Jonathan Edwards for 3 years, and then decided to try and settle down and have a restaurant, and did that for 18, and now I'm back to doing more like catering and moving around and preparing food and taking it out the same way I would be packing up my musical equipment and going out and getting on stage. It's amazing how many similarities there are. So that's my little spiel for this evening. I won't go any further into the rock and roll part of my life, but we will certainly see the food part of my life, and we'll see what's going on here tonight. So that's the deal. And it is Christmas time. I brought an Ella Fitzgerald.
Are you the drummer, by the way?
I'm the bass player.
Oh, I see you beating away on that chicken.
There you go. That's exactly right. Well, no, they would not be behind the drums. I'd probably break all the heads. But.
You sing also?
Vegetables. This is the deal on those. I've taken anise, squash, carrots, Westport turnip, Macumber turnip, red pepper, new potatoes. And with the anise, I've gone ahead and put the green right in there. I've used right up, you take the anise, it comes in a stalk like celery, right up and mixed it in. Olive oil, salt, pepper, period. Sweet potato too. And butternut squash. Anything you want. Celerac is great, celery root, any kind of, but to do that, you've got the whole vegetable and starch thing in one nice pan. They smell great, they keep their color, they're delicious mixed together, as you'll find out. So all I did was take these, cut them into pieces, put them in a big bowl with some olive oil, salt, and pepper, toss them with my hands, put them in the pan, and then I wash my hands again. So that's the deal. That's what's so nice about these. Roasting and baking vegetables are a fantastic technique because they hold their color, they hold their flavor. Unless you absolutely butcher them and you cook them way too long, it's just a wonderful way to do it. You can cook these, you can hold them. You could cook them the night before, hold them in the refrigerator, and then put them back in the next day. They're going to be, they might even be better. The whole thing about cooking and tasting it the next day, like having soup, I wouldn't doubt that. So that's the deal. I wanted to show you before they were all cooked how they look. But aren't they beautiful? And you'll see now, these have only been in for about 10 minutes. We'll see them after about a half an hour, and you'll be amazed. The color will just be like as vibrant as it is now. And that's the difference between steaming and boiling versus roasting. And I think it's a great technique.
Everything from very dry to very sweet, and we have half a dozen things in the works. 32 acres planted right off the road, and another 30 that we purchased in Middletown. We grow 90+% of what we sell. Most of what we sell is out of the tasting. This is our specialty. Sakana does this, Germany does it, Canada does it big time, but America generally doesn't. This is an ice wine. Ice wine means that, although not these grapes, but the grapes at the winery on the vines in general have gone through 3 frosts. Okay? You have to have, otherwise it's not an ice wine. It's a legal definition. The grapes are picked by hand. They're shriveled at that point, so you're getting a lot of sugar concentration. They look like. And we'll obviously pour these with dinner.
Lemon garlic. Olive oil, clams. I've got this drained, minced, quahogs, whatever you got. Don't worry about it. I don't think that steamers with necks on them work and bellies work as well as a chopped, bigger clam, personally. Okay? Oil.
Are those frozen or fresh?
These are canned right here. Rhode Island something. Going to spread this with olive oil. This is not any tricky olive oil. It's just, well, why don't we just do 3 of these right off the bat? That's what's going to cook the clam, the nice heat coming off that olive oil. Then I'm going to put clams, a little cheese, garlic, oregano, and hard cheese after that. Would you open this for me? Cover the outside and go, when I put stuff on, I know this sounds weird, but there is a method to the madness. When you're working with a pizza, go put your stuff on the outside all the way around evenly and work towards the middle, then you know you've covered it, you don't have this great piece of crust, and you have something on every bite. At least that's how I like to do it. Pizza's very subjective. Everyone likes something different. But I think taking the time to make your own is a hell of a lot of fun, and it's better, as you'll see, than anything you can buy. That's a little short in there, okay. No, they're going into the chicken. Now, this is not about cheese, this particular pizza, okay? I don't think all cheese, I don't like a lot of cheese on any of the pizzas, but this is a blend of every grade of cheese they had in the cabinet. Use whatever you'd like. Some people like cheddar. I use mozzarella. I like mozzarella cheddar, and some good hard cheese on top. Meaning this, I think tonight is Pecorino Romano. Oregano. Just lightly around the whole thing, not a lot. Cornmeal is underneath, absolutely. It's key. That's your ball bearings. That keeps your pizza away from the pan. It gives it crunch, and it allows it to cook underneath. Very important. However, there are people who make pizzas. Greeks do not use cornmeal on their pizzas. So, but I think this is my show, and I think it's great. So that's how I do it. That's how I've seen it done. Then some hard cheese on top. This is, I said, is Pecorino Romano. You know what I mean when I say hard cheese, right? Well, it's a hard cheese. If you buy this Pecorino Romano, it's harder than a rock. Yeah. And so there are different hard cheeses you could use. Pecorino Romano, Pecorino or Romano, or Parmesan. All work well. I happen to like this blend because it's a little sharper than straight Parmesan. But also on the cheeses, just you ask about that. Go ahead and buy the $10 a pound Parmesan. Believe me, you'll use much less. Your flavor will be a lot better, and the quality is better. You don't need to use as much, but the flavor, the real Reggiano Parmesan, is so much better than the stuff you buy. It's better to pay $10. You'll get so much more out of it. It's worth spending the extra money to get the better flavor and to use less. That's my opinion on that. Into the oven as hot as you might want it. This particular oven is 475 convection, which would probably come around 500 to a normal oven. Around 500 degrees. So we're going to put them right in, and we'll go. Would you pour me some water, please? No disrespect. Merry Christmas, guys. Cheers to all of you. Cheers to Newport Vineyards. They worked really hard to turn their thing around, and it's gotten unbelievably good. They're right up there, and they should be proud of their work. Everything looks great. It's a great place to go any time, but on a weekend afternoon to go over there. It's gorgeous. They've got a nice little restaurant on the property. Cheers, Steve. Thanks for coming down tonight. Cheers.
While you're drinking, we are open 7 days a week, including Sundays, and yes, you can purchase alcohol on Sunday. Sorry, it's open now too.
Oven thermometer. Those of you who don't, give each other them for your Christmas. Because let me tell you, if you don't have a thermometer, you have no idea, especially if you don't have these new digital readouts, you really don't know how your oven is. And if you've been cooking and you found that you've had problems with some of your dishes, your cakes aren't rising, your food isn't hot enough, it's not cooking at the right time, more often than not, it's not about you, it's about your oven. Go out and buy a Taylor oven thermometer, stick it in there, turn the oven to 350, check it. Turn it to 400, turn it to 450, and see how your oven is calibrated. If it's not right, then you'll know that, gosh, I've got to turn my oven to get it to 425. I've got to turn it to 460, or whatever the scenario is. So buy an oven thermometer. Buy a meat thermometer. You've got to have measuring tools to cook properly. And you'll feel a lot better because all of a sudden things will start working. Say, hey, what a concept. It wasn't me. It's not about you. It's about your equipment. You got to keep your equipment in top-notch condition. Also, spices. Have I given you all my spice wrap 80 times? Get the spices that you've had since 1964 and throw them away, because more often than not, they're no good. If you take the top off and you smell your spices, and they don't have any smell, they're certainly not gonna be any good in the food you're cooking. So throw them out. Give each other, they're great stocking stuffers. This line, Frontier, is a wonderful line of spices that Al has here. They're a little less expensive than McCormick for good reason, and they're more socially conscious, blah, 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 okay? So I would buy this line over the McCormick line. Frontier, they're a nice operation. So the flour, as Emerald would say, is no good unless it's, thank you, salt and pepper. So you want to season it. There's our salt. Guys, I'm only coating this. Leave me alone.
I'm with you.
I'm with you. My socially conscious brother, he doesn't know what he's talking about. No, all right. He's a great cameraman. Salt and pepper, okay? This, relative to what's going on, whatever. Okay. And we've got them. Steve, do you have some stuff you want to do? I just wanted to get into.
I can answer questions if I just don't want to interfere with.
Oh, you're not interfering, man. I need you to pick up here a little bit while the pizzas are cooking.
Anybody have any questions for me at all? I mean, to explain the harvest and all that, you really need to have a tour, but I'm happy to answer any questions you have on anything. The question is, why don't we grow red zinfandel? I wish it was my favorite grape. I suspect that it's not hot enough here. The zinfandel grape is a Syrah grape. Syrah generally, especially the thin ones,
I don't go back with the flour.
someday maybe.
I don't go back onto the flour. I don't want it that heavily breaded.
Any other questions at all? Anybody tell me why we're able to grow grapes in part of the region instead of why we don't have to do apple wine?
It does go back. Oh, people go back in the flour after the.
Some do. Too much.
It is on the same line as France.
Important family character through all these years. And I'm happy for her. She's a good kid. She's got that character that you can't replace.
If there's no water here, we would have probably 5 below zero. Where we are, 10 below zero, and you can't grow grapes then. You can do apples, peaches, pears, and all those kinds of things. And that's why when you go up to Maine and New Hampshire, unless they're imported, they're great. You won't see anything but fruit wine, too cold. So basically, Westport, Seconded, these are we're far north is the other way around. So it's one drink at a time, one person at a time, one glass at a time. Do a lot of these.
With the chicken, flour, then a little egg. I don't go flour, egg, flour. It's too much breading for me. So I put the flour on so that the egg will stick to the chicken. Can you guys see it through my bro? Up there? Good. I'm sorry. Egg wash is eggs with 2 teaspoons of water for each egg you use. The water, you want to break down that viscous egg thing. Viscous, thank you. See, I didn't go to Yale. He did. Viscous. Is that the right word to use?
Yes.
I'm approved. I'm camera approved. So, you could just use egg, I guess, but I think the egg sticks a little. You don't want to I just don't want to overkill these. These are going to be dynamite. We're going to have a good thing here. How are our pizza pies? Oh, they're coming.
Another question from up front, do most wines have
Right.
It was just something else in the wine, perhaps it was grape type, but sometimes people make them, but I mean, trust me, I've seen that happen. They say, oh,
It was a sulfite.
that's why it's cheap with food. Have to pour some more while we wait.
You guys getting hungry yet? All right, we're all friends here. This is your, you've been here before, right?
Yeah, you're making me crazy with the latest one I was at. All right. Are we gonna be on TV? I don't photograph. It's a rockumentary.
It's a rockumentary.
Rockumentary.
There's going to be a whole music portion of the show tonight.
I can dance better than I can sing.
I know everyone likes to do things ahead. How are our vegetables? I don't know. Let's take a look. Oh, they're coming, but this oven is not well. You can see I'm putting the tray. Yes.
Can you get a brick oven taste from an oven?
Tell me what a brick oven taste is. Is it the burn? It's the brown bottom. Let's see what you think of these pizzas. This is as generic a situation as you can get. A brick oven smell. You can go ahead and buy the bricks. Heat up your oven and get that ceramic thing happening. Yes? That's what I meant. You can get tile. Get the untreated quarry tile. Make sure it has not been treated with anything. Go to the tile company and buy it. You can go to Home Depot, untreated natural quarry tile, and put it on your oven and put it down there. It might help a little bit. I don't know. I think it's a cooking. I think you've got to cook the damn thing long enough that it's right. And I think that the brown and the color will come out through cooking. I don't think it has to do with stones or rocks. Now, you go to Sally's or Pepe's and you're working off a coal-fired pizza oven, that's a different story. There is a difference. You go to Bertucci's, those pizzas taste a little different. They're definitely different than Papa Gino's. And I like Papa Gino's pizza. So, I'm going to show you what to do. Now listen, to do this tomato sauce, guys, this is Pummy, great product. Pummy, chopped tomatoes, great product, fresh. I don't cook my sauce. What I do,
Right here, right?
I'm going to take this as just straight Pummy tomatoes. It hasn't been cooked. There's no tomato paste, no spices, no nothing. I want pure tomato hit. And I'm just going to put, a little olive oil just to loosen it up a little bit, because I'm not going to pour olive oil on the crust, although we might have, but that's all right. Don't worry about it. And then that's it. I don't cook the sauce. Probably some of these pizzerias do. I don't know. Or they use this stuff that looks like, motor oil, fuel oil or something. It's very heavy. And then I want to go very light on the tomato. I go light on everything. And start on the outside and work in. That will give you everything, total coverage. I don't want to have a pizza with a great big heel on it. I don't like it. Other people want the heels. I don't know what to tell you. It's very subjective, pizza is. I'm just going to tell you what I like, and then when you eat it, you can judge for yourself. Same thing here. We're going to put the tomato right on there. I like using the back of a spoon or the back of a ladle. You can measure exactly by using a ladle and then spread it like I'm doing like this. For some reason, I like doing that better than whatever the alternative is. Chicken burning. God bless you. Whoa. Okay, I'm going to push that away. It's a little hot. Turn that down for 1 minute while we do these pizzas. Very important pizza. It isn't far, but you got to know where you're going. It's a little Italy part of New Haven, and you can call ahead. But usually Sally's takes their phone off the hook by about 5 o'clock. Am I making sense to all the Sally and Pepe people? Only 4 o'clock. No lunch pizzas. What's your favorite Boston pizzeria? I have mine. I've already said it in my book, in my thing there, haven't I? Favorite Boston pizzeria, Santarpio's. You go under the Callahan Tunnel on your way to the airport. If you go where it says local traffic only, if you go down the end of that street, you run right into the front door of Santarpio's. By far, to me, the best pizza in Boston, the best shish kebab. They do lamb and sausage shish kebab skewers, and it's absolutely fantastic. Has anyone here ever been to Santarpio's? On your way to the airport, go a little early and have a Santarps on top of the cheese only. The cheese is the next thing. Then we're going to put everyone eat a little pepperoni, yeah. And you want to spread the cheese so it's even all the way around. Scared, no time. Time is tricky to me. But it might be good. This might be the beginning of a new time.
I put time on everything.
All right.
I'm really good on pizza.
Look at that. Now that's normal oven cooking. That's no brick oven or anything. Okay? Well, we'll see what it tastes like. Are we ready to have some? All right. How many? I need to know a head count, please.
23.
23, no waiting. See, that's okay. Now that's no fancy pizzeria. It's an oven in Westport. Yeah, all the way around. There you go. That's
You got a tomato and cheese it and put it in the oven because it's the only way to get it to melt on top, you know what I mean? You
right.
gotta-
So how do you melt the top?
That's what I wanna know.
Can't you just dome it? Can't you dome it with foil?
Parmesan,
that would melt
use the
it.
top.
You see these pizzas in the store, great for grilling. What the hell are they talking about? I don't understand it.
We gotta broaden your horizons.
Great for grilling. No. Pizza has to be cooked in an oven. It's a baked product, in my opinion. You see, this is all about being subjective. Food is very subjective. Some people like to do some grilled pizza with thyme. There you go. Knock yourself out. Would you invite me over, please? I would appreciate that. Thank you. Let's cut these open here. I need a cutting board, guys. And then as soon as you do that, I want to sprinkle cheese and a little sprinkle of oregano. I've got my new pizza makers, just to show that anyone can do it. Look at that. They're cooked on the bottom. Pretty good? Okay. How's this one? This one feels a little more rare. That one's a little rare, I think. I need a, okay, well, let's work with this one.
While Greg is doing that, I just want to put in a quick.
Now, maybe you could take a piece of this and it's not quite brown enough and then throw it on the grill. I'm still very perplexed and troubled by this grilled pizza. Time, it's too much. What's that? What's that? Regular? Yes, please. I can't claim to emulate New Haven stuff sitting here in Westport, but you get the flavors. You get that nice flavor. This is a white pizza. This is a classic white pizza. You could use tuna. It's bastardization, but you probably could use it. What else could you use in a white? What's up? Oh, you're listening? How we do? Is everyone served yet? No. Yes? No? Tony.
What
I
about,
don't like, if the pizza droops, I'm not a droopy pizza guy.
what about gas versus electric?
If you're using an electric oven, it behooves you to preheat thoroughly. You do not want any electric elements going on while your pizza's cooking. It will screw up either the bottom or the top, there's no question about it. And that's my experience. Time. It's the best readily available tomato product on the market, in my opinion. If you can't get this, to me, the next best tomato product is Pastene, P-A-S-T-E-N-E. That's what Santarpio's uses for their tomato sauce on their pizza. Make a trip to Santarpio's. If you go and ever come back to one of my classes, tell me, just order the garlic pizza. Tomato, garlic, cheese. It's outstanding. I'm not a big load everything on. Who likes pizza with everything on it? See? That's what I mean. That's what's so beautiful about food. It's subjective. Everyone has different tastes. Omelet pan, I couldn't make an omelet in it. The handle was broken. It was a plastic handle. And you put the egg in and it would go wobbly like this, but this was his egg pan. He would not make an egg unless it was in this pan. So it gets into spiritual stuff. It gets into personal stuff, personal taste. I mean, it is. And so if you like something, that doesn't mean that because someone else doesn't like it, it isn't what is best for you. And that's the whole deal about everything in life, right? Don't open the door. It knocks off the time. It takes the pizza down. It's what made that pizza not straight up crisp. It was straight up kind of crisp. If I hadn't opened the door 4 times to check it because I wanted to take care of you guys, it probably would have been nice, straight up with a crunch. I like to have the crust have literally a crunch.
So it's our fault.
No, I thought I was pretty good about saying it was my fault, wasn't I? I'm just trying to say I'm no different than you guys. Yes. We all right? All right, we're gonna cook some more chicken and get ready to dinner. Steve, give me some more booze, would you? Pan, we're gonna go quick. I don't want to burn the garlic at any cost, right? So, shit. All right, pardon my French. Burn the goddamn garlic. Too much going on tonight. It's gonna be a funky sauce. The garlic is 10.
There you go, sanctuary.
I'm not gonna kid you. Thank you. I need sanctuary. Okay, so we're just gonna roll everything in this. It's okay. We're all right. It's nice and brown. It's all right to brown the garlic. You really don't want to burn it. If you burn it, you're really starting against the 8 ball. Then we're gonna put some wine in. Both kinds. Watch your flame. It's gonna flame. And I'm embarrassed to use it, but in cooking, don't use, if you're gonna put stock in, now this is for 30 people, okay, easy. I like keeping the mushrooms whole. I like something to really bite on. I don't like to slice them into little pieces. They become nothing. Now, also, I brought some porcinis. I don't know where they are, but you get some dried mushrooms, okay? You ever porcini mushrooms? You can get them at Sid Wainer's or at BJ's. Soak them, put them in with this, but then use that soak broth, strain it, and use that in here. It gives you a mushroom flavor that you wouldn't believe. Okay, I'm going to add some stock. Please pardon this. I don't usually use canned stock. It's okay though. I'd rather have you use this. They make some at the natural store called Free Range Chicken Stock. Hell of a product. They have it here at Ali's, Lee's Market. And then we're going to use the Chinese technique to thicken this. Okay, does anyone know what that is? Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a better way to go. I don't like using flour per se. I use a little bit of wine now. Yes. So it'll be delicious. It should be good. Now listen, you don't have to get these piping hot because we're going to put a nice hot sauce on them. So if they're at a reasonable temperature, you know, if they're, oh good, more wine, thank God. Oh, Steve, you're my best friend all of a sudden. So we're going to let that just cook in. Listen, if you're using any stocks out of a box, forget about adding salt because most of them have a lot of salt content, and be careful with that. If it's something very special that you're cooking, make your own stock. I've done some stock shows. I love making stock. Anyone here make stock? Especially if you go to the store and you buy one of these rotisserie chickens. Yeah. Save those bones. If you don't want to make stock right away, throw them in a baggie and throw them in the freezer. Then pull them out and make stock. Stock is the bloodline of great cooking.
I'm on a mission from God. Duke and the drivers are back here tonight, and this will be the first time in a couple of decades. I certainly haven't seen Ando Hickson for a long time, so Rhinestone Mud Flaps is going to be back in full charge tonight. What's it got on the front? Anything on there? Cool. I gotta get one. What, is that, you selling them right now?
You gotta come a little closer, baby. You gotta come a little closer, baby. You gotta come a little closer, baby.
Close enough so I can love you right now. Close enough so I can love you right.
You gotta come a little closer, baby. You gotta come a little closer, Pharaoh.
But you take your guitar down with you. I can now. Okay. You gotta work. Because you guys are going out to the kitchen, right? Yeah, Joe, you gotta take your guitar with you.
Good luck, Ando.
I'm waiting for you.
Excuse us, folks. Thank you very much.
Delvin!
I'm gonna kill you.
Hey, Josh.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the House of Blues, Cambridge, Massachusetts, mid-December 2002. Unfortunately, I won't be able to attend the festivities this evening. My pilot has disappeared on the island of Capri. My Learjet's locked up at Leonardo da Vinci Airport up in Rome. But I want to hear the house rock tonight, because I know the drivers are ready. My guess is you all are ready too.
You've done to me. I'm as happy as a man can be. My heart is so filled with joy, like a kid with a brand new toy. Baby, when you hold me tight, oh, really make me feel alright. And girl, when you call my name, I'm in dirt, there's a cry of shame. One thing sure to be, well, you really gotta hold on, really gotta hold on. What you got sure's good. Do me what you got sure's good. Do me what you got sure's good. Do me what you got sure's good, baby. Now do it. Baby, it's the way you walk. Baby, it's the way you talk. Baby, it's the clothes you wear. And baby, just the way that you comb your hair. Baby, it's the things you do. Gonna keep him up with you. Baby, just the way you move. Sock it to me in the groove. It's one thing plain to see. Well, you really gotta hold on, really gotta hold on. What you got sure's good. Do me what you got sure's good. Do me what you got sure's good. Do me, baby, do me what you got sure's good. Do me, baby, about your loving, yeah, really make me feel alright. And baby, about your loving, yeah, I got to have it damn nice. Your love really, really got me, baby. Your love, wow, it really got me, huh? Really, really got me, baby. Your love, it really, really got me, huh? What you got sure's good. Do me what you got sure's good, baby. Now do me what you got sure's good. Do me what you got sure's good, baby. Do me what you got sure's good. 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 Wow. Oh my, 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 my.
see you in 30 years.
Remember, everybody, don't write a check with your mouth that your body can't cash.